In this video, we're going to be taking a look at special right triangles. Special right triangles have patterns that we can follow to find missing sides, so we don't actually have to rely on SOHCAHTOA. There's two types, a 45-45-90 and a 30-60-90. In this video, we'll be looking at the 30-60-90 special right triangle. In a previous video, we already looked at the 45-45-90 pattern. So let's take a look at our 30-60-90. Let's pretend that our short leg on this 30-60-90 is 5. So let's use SOHCAHTOA to find the hypotenuse, which we'll say is x. You haven't actually used SOHCAHTOA yet this year, so here's the work, but you can ignore this for now. You'll be learning how to solve for x in the next unit. So now let's go ahead and see how we get the third side, and we don't want to use SOHCAHTOA for this. It won't show the pattern. So we're going to rely on Pythagorean theorem to find our long leg, which we can call x. So we have our hypotenuse, the other two sides are legs, so there's our x squared plus 5 squared equals 10 squared. And we simplify this down, subtract our 25, we get x squared equals 75. So x is radical 75, and again, you're not going to see the pattern until you simplify this. So this becomes radical 25 times radical 3, and then when we simplify the radical 25, we get 5 radical 3. So let's replace our x with 5 radical 3 and see if we can discover the pattern here. If we want our short leg to be n, what do we do to the 5 on the short leg to get to 10 on the hypotenuse? We multiply by 2. So that means our hypotenuse is 2n. What do we do to the 5 to get 5 radical 3 for our long leg? We multiply by radical 3. So if you have n for your short leg, your long leg is n radical 3. So that is our pattern for 30-60-90 triangles. Let's go ahead and practice a few. What if I tell you the short leg is 12? Then that means the hypotenuse would be double that, 2 times n, it would be 24. And our long leg would be 12 radical 3, because we're going n radical 3 to get the long leg. All right, let's try another one. What if I give you the hypotenuse is 40? So if 2n equals 40, that means n would be just 20. So our short leg is 20. Once you have the short leg, it's easy to find the long leg by just multiplying by radical 3. So the long leg is 20 radical 3. Try another one. All right, if you want to give this one a try, go ahead. All right, this time you're given the long leg, and it is in the form that we like to see. The long leg is 17 radical 3. So if the long leg is 17 radical 3, that means the short leg is simply 17. And then to get the hypotenuse, take the 17 and double it and get 34. All right, last one. This is the difficult one that takes a little more extra effort. Because we have a 15 for the long leg, we would like to see a radical 3, but we don't have it. But we do know that the 15 is equal to n radical 3 in our pattern. And let's make that triangle smaller and go ahead and solve for it. So we know n radical 3 is 15. Divide both sides by radical 3, and they cancel out. We get n is 15 divided by radical 3. Multiply by radical 3 over radical 3 to simplify the radical, and we're left with 15 radical 3 over 3. And this time the 15 and the 3 can reduce to 5 radical 3. So 5 radical 3 would be our short leg. And then to find our hypotenuse, we're going to go ahead and just double it, and that would give us 10 radical 3 for our hypotenuse. Now, before we move on, let's just double check that this worked out. If our short leg is 5 radical 3, that means we should multiply it by radical 3 to get the long leg. So in other words, 5 radical 3 times radical 3 needs to give us 15. Does it? Well, radical 3 times radical 3 is just 3, and our 5 times 3 gives us are 15, so it does work. Time for practice problems. So when you see the problem, pause the video, work it out, and then press play to check your answer. First problem. All right, so first of all, we do have to know it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. If you do triangle equals 180, the missing angle is 60 degrees. And so if the short leg is x, that means the hypotenuse is 2x, and the y would be x radical 3. So this one's pretty quick and easy. If 2x is 50, that means x is 25. And if x is 25, then y is 25 radical 3. Okay, next problem. Go ahead and pause it. All right, once again, if you want to prove that you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, triangle equals 180 would lead to a 30-degree angle on that missing angle. This time our long leg is 9 radical 3. That's exactly what we want to see. So if the short leg is y, then 9 radical 3 needs to be y radical 3. So if y radical 3 equals 9 radical 3, and the hypotenuse is 2y, the y would be 9. And then to get your x, your hypotenuse, you just double it and get 18. All right, last problem. Okay, this one, our short leg is the x, which means our 16 would be x radical 3. Also, we have the right angle on the bottom when we do triangle equals 180. So we don't have what we like to get. It takes a little longer. So we set up x radical 3 equals 16, divide by radical 3, and then we want to simplify. X is equal to 16 over radical 3, multiply by radical 3 over radical 3. This time we get 16 radical 3 over 3, and you can't simplify further than that, so that is your answer for x. To get your y, your hypotenuse, you have to double that. So y is equal to 32 radical 3 over 3.